Have you ever woken up and felt really sick and you thought to yourself, today would be a great day for me to take off of work? But then you sit there and contemplate and you're like,
Well, I have lesson plans that I need to do. I have grading that I need to do. I am giving a test today. I have no sub plans, and just F it. It would be better if I just went in. Plus, I would feel guilty if I didn't tell my team that I wasn't coming in.
you're not alone. And this is the topic of today's video. 5 things that you should not feel guilty about as a teacher. Make sure you stick around for the last one because it is the most important one. And let's get started. Okay, so number one is taking your sick days. Sounds obvious, but a lot of us just don't take our sick days, especially as Americans, as we know. We're human and we get sick, unfortunately, and it sucks, right? We are going to have to miss a day or two. And as long as you're not like going to the hospital sick, hopefully not, but it happens. There's no other way around that. And you're not a superhero. And in my opinion, I think that you would feel more guilty about spreading it to so many other people than you feeling guilty of taking that day off. It's just so necessary. Just take the break, take the day off, and recoup, rest, do what you need to do, and then be better for work whenever you can come back. Okay, number two, taking your mental health days. A lot of people, I mean, a lot of teachers, a lot of them tell me that they feel so guilty for taking a mental health day when they're not having a mental health crisis, or they just feel like they just should be there for some reason. And I'm glad that you feel healthy enough to go to work. But if you in your head, you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's only Tuesday and this has been the longest week of my life, or you're like, I just need to clean my house and like I just can't get there because I have this to do and this to do and this to do. And I just feel like I can't sit down and you're just overwhelmed, take the mental health day. And you don't even have to do anything those days. Maybe you're like, you know what? I have worked this entire year so far without taking a mental health day, and I'm kind of feeling it. So I might as well just take the day to do what I want to do. You can sleep in and go to the gym. You can read a book. You can journal. You can take a walk, whatever the heck you want to do. Just do it. You definitely don't have to have a mental health breakdown, although those are possible. Just it's necessary to take the break. You will feel so much more rejuvenated when you come back, and you'd be surprised at how productive you would be that day when you come back. Number three is spending time with your family. Now, you should not feel guilty spending time with your family. What happens is, as teachers, we have the lesson plans, we have the sub plans, we have emails, parents, and things. We just have crap that goes on that like our brains just don't shut off. And what ends up happening and suffering is your family members. If you have kids and they're saying, "Mommy, Daddy, play with me," and you're like, "Honey, I think tomorrow I can play with you, but today I have to get work done." And then all of a sudden you feel guilty for for not spending that time with your family. Um, and hi, Gracie. You want to say hi to the camera? And sometimes you feel guilty spending time with them when you have so much work that you have to do. But it's like, why? Like, instead, spend the time with your family because that's what matters more than your job. It matters more than the students at work, even though we care so much about those kids and they are our kids too. But the kids that we have, the husband, the wife, whatever you have, significant other, is so much more important, and they need you in their life and they want you to be present. They don't want you being half there. You're scrolling through social media, or you're just getting your papers done while they're talking to you about their day. They don't want that. They want your full attention. So you should never feel, and I'm sure that you want that too as well. I should reiterate that. Again, you should never, ever feel guilty spending time with your family. If that is an issue, it is time to look at what your boundaries are for work. And also, if it's a problem with a lot of pressure from your principal and admin, maybe leaving that school altogether, so that way, like, having no one telling you that like you have to do all this work at home, it's important. So the next one kind of goes with spending time with your family. You should never feel guilty about not working when you're not at work. Okay, so when it's the weekend, you should not be thinking about work. You should be thinking about the time that you're spending with your family or your friends, or sleeping in, or just having a great weekend and weekending it up and all that jazz. Shouldn't be thinking about work. It's hard. I know, especially if you're like an English teacher or like maybe a special ed teacher and you have like all these IEPs coming up. I understand, but
When you're at home, you're at home.
and your teaching job is just that. It's your teaching job. It is not your lifestyle and it's not your life. It's just one part of your life. So, if this is you feeling guilty for not working at home, this is your sign to stop, rethink, and change your mindset into this is going to be my time and my energy spent, and I'm going to do the things that I want to do. And the last one, but not least, is setting boundaries. So many people tell me that they feel guilty about setting healthy boundaries because they feel rude. And I look at them and I go, what? You feel rude? No. So I have a video right here that you can watch about this, but setting healthy boundaries does not make you rude. It makes you actually a better teacher. All it is you are just communicating to others how you want them to treat you, and this is how you are going to be able to get your work done at work, and so that when you come home, you are able to just be home. You're not being rude at all. So never ever feel guilty about setting your healthy boundaries. It is the most important thing that you need to do. So again, the 5 things that you should never feel guilty for: taking sick days, mental health days, spending time with your family, not working when you're not at work, and setting your boundaries. Our job is so demanding, so it's understandable why we have so many guilt trips of why we think we need to be at work or what we need to get done, etc. We are only human. And if other careers are allowed to be taking their sick days and their mental health days and etc., then why aren't teachers?